everybody, how y'all doing? Are you okay? In your neck of the
When we dry them up, too cold. Now go too deep, you know. Yeah, fair watch Joe, you know. Our troops, see there? Apple cider vinegar and our troops. Come up right, make them get saturated in the gravy and all of that.
Jammas day number 11. On today's episode of the Jamaican cooking journey, we'll be preparing for you roasted breadfruit, ackee, and saltfish, Jamaican national dish. No, you're gonna say, David, oh, I never seen the breadfruit before. No, there is a video. There are videos there that shows you how to roast your breadfruit indoors. There's also a video there that shows you how to roast it in the outdoors. Now I have the one that is wrapped with the foil paper for the stovetop and one that is not wrapped. Those are in-depth videos. I will leave those videos link in the description of this live, of this video. You go and check out, make sure you use the one that suits you best. Now people are asking about the oven. I've never done any in the oven. In fact, I really don't like my breadfruit being done in the oven. Me just not like it, you know. So you might have to check somewhere else to get the oven one done. So the one that is in there, the foil paper wrap, like this, that's what I'm doing, and the one that is not in the wrap, and you go make your choice from there. Which one is better for you? Which one has less cleaning up? So our breadfruit is there. Now we are using some frozen ackees. These are ackees that have been picked fresh from the tree, but we chose to freeze them. Now they have been like 3/4 of a way thawed. So you can use your tin ackee. I told you I also have a video there that differentiates tin ackee from fresh ackee. I'm gonna leave that link for you too, that you go see what is happening, make your choice. Okay, now this is halfway thawed. I have here some water supposed to be coming to a boil, so I have my heat on. So when it starts boiling, I'll come back to you. My saltfish is here being pre-soaked, and I'm just gonna scald this off one single time because I'm pre-soaking it. If you're not pre-soaking yours, you might want to scald it off 2 or 3 times, depending on the amount of saltfish. The amount of saltfish makes a big difference, family. I have my green scallions. I have a little piece of bell pepper. Not that I normally use it, but I put a little with it. I have onions, garlic, and pepper, black pepper, of course. You can use tomato. I really don't use tomatoes in my ackee. Okay, so water is here going to come to a boil. Breadfruit is here, and we're not going to focus too much on this, but as we go along, you will see it we are prepared, because you're going to see the breadfruit on the stove, and when it's done, you'll have to see to we'll be peeling it and, you know, putting it with the ackee and saltfish. There are a few things that I want to point out to you when preparing this ackee and saltfish. Okay, I pointed out some in other videos, but I'm still gonna do it for people who are new here and don't even take the time to go watch those videos. But you can browse through the channel, family, and go check out. I've got a playlist of ackee dishes, so go check it out. So I'll catch you in the next clip when this water is coming to a boil. I'll share with you a few tips about this frozen ackee when you're preparing it. Next clip. Okay, now family, we are at that point now. I've just put on my saltfish and it is there. Now, I want to say something, family. We are using this amount. Maybe this would work out to be about 3 cans of ackee for you people that haven't got the access to the fresh ackee. So this is about 8 ounces of saltfish, or probably 10 ounces. So may I use that because remember when the ackee cook, it shrinks. Now it is there coming to. I did soak my saltfish, as I told you, pre-soak. I washed the heavy salt. I pre-soaked it for almost an hour. Yeah, throw off that water, so I'm scalding it off, and I'm going to be doing it for only one time. Now this is my ackee water being coming to a boil. I'm going to add a little salt. Some people say, which my mother used to do back then in the olden days, but I don't think it is to flavor. They cook the saltfish with the ackee to flavor the ackee. I'm going to get that. Not disputing them. Back in the olden days, my mother would do that too. But I'm not sure if it was to flavor the ackee because she never have the whole heap of facility with stove we had the wood fire. I'm not sure. But in the comment section, you can tell me what you think. I don't like my ackee cooking with the
the saltfish cooking on top of the ackee. No, because the saltfish water raw. It's what I say, family. So I put my little salt reasonably well. Alright. Now, this is the amount of water. And I'm going to be gently adding my ackees. I may have the breadfruit over there in a family. You see, I had the long breadfruit, but I didn't buy it. I got it from my property. So, I have to just use it. But if you're buying, I also showed you, discussed with you in a video, trying to buy the long breadfruit then, but I never did buy that. So, you see how them kind of challenging to roast on the stove. So now, I want you to look at the amount of water that I have. Now, sometimes, you may see people making ackee and it must be, your flame must be really high right here now. What is happening? Okay. So, look at this. This ackee is firm, but as it cooks, it is gonna get soft. No, you no want no whole heap of ackee and no food the water cup this whole heap of water where your ackee. You see what I'm saying? You want to have your ackees in your water, just like how you have your pressure pot, barely. The liquid in the pressure pot barely covering the meat, as I had shared with you. You know, so you know this is okay. Look at this water. This is okay for this amount of ackee. Can remember ackee, it is easily cooked, you know, most time. Yeah, and remember they were in the freezer, so them get a partial cooking with a frozen thing there, and halfway out, so them kind of, yeah. So you gotta know how to do the frozen ackees when you take them from the fridge and thaw them. You can't put no whole heap of water. It doesn't make sense. Eat to the ice now, and we are gonna leave it to come back and let it cook. So you want to do this now. Yeah, and mine could take another little bit of salt. Yeah. So you don't want to taste up too much of the ackee water, and it not taste so nice. It not taste pretty. So we have put a more salt. And I guess people just do the saltfish stuff because they want to use the salt from the saltfish for just get the ackee. But I never really want it like that, fam. Because as me tell you now, saltfish water, if it's raw. So we'll leave our ackees to cook. And I will not cover my ackees either. I'll just leave them like that. Next clip. So you want to use a fork right here. And you see that? You want to test your ackees cook. You want to turn your flame off. And now you want to just immediately right now, instant on the spot, you want to drain your ackee right now. You don't want to leave it in this water. Colander, ackee being drained. You're going to drain that ackee and let it sit there until it just drains right off and it just come right back and just get all dried. Okay? Right, so that's what we're gonna do. We have our saltfish here and we're gonna be cleaning off, picking up our saltfish, removing the back part, these parts, yeah, and then we're gonna be picking it up and deboning it, which I know everybody know how to do, most people, because I've done it in other videos. So when you see me next, ackee will be picked, saltfish will be cleaned, picked up, not minced, but picked up to a reasonable size. Ackee will be properly drained and we'll return, and I hope our breadfruit will be ready. Also, we'll be prepping my little, you know, my little stuff that I'm gonna put with my ackee. So I'll catch you in the next clip. So okay now, family, our seasonings have been prepared, our saltfish is ready, our ackee is ready. I have my oil here being preheated in Jessie, and Mr. she look good for the olive oil. Now when you drain your ackee properly, this is how it looks, all peggy and not mashed. Now I'm waiting on my oil to be preheated. And family, if I have to finish this video with some subtitle, please forgive me because they're having a party next door and I don't want to get my video all messed up with those music. So my oil is being preheated, and in the next clip I'll be adding my saltfish and we're gonna be starting to put our ackee together. Try to let your saltfish drain properly too, family. So we are going in. My oil could be a little hotter. I am going to sort of brown up my saltfish. I like to actually, and if you are new to this channel, you might not know, but if you are an oldie, you'd have known that I like to brown up my saltfish. So I'm gonna leave my fish in this oil, get my flame up a bit, and I'm gonna brown my saltfish up a bit, and then I'll return. All being browned up here, and you have to be careful when doing this. As with any fish, it pops when it's frying, okay? So I'm browning it up, and you might not want to put so much oil, but I put that amount because the ackee is gonna, you know, and I want the fish to be browned up properly. So if you want to use less oil, then you could. You know, my fish has been properly browned up here, and I'm turning them over. So in the next clip, I will be just ready to add my seasonings. Some people do the seasonings, then they add the saltfish. Everybody does their thing different, family. This is how I do mine, okay? Please appreciate what I do. So family, you can see that my saltfish has a little brown, and sometimes I go a little more crispy too. It has a little brown look. I'm gonna get my flame up. Whoops, I turned my flame down. Now I'm gonna add my seasonings, and you, if you use, as I said, tomato and other stuff, you just do them, okay? I appreciate what you do, and I beg that you appreciate what I do just the same. So when you add your seasonings, you're gonna start mixing it around with your saltfish, and then you see what is happening. Now that you have got mixing around with your saltfish, you want to get your flame up to the highest you can, and then you're gonna like cover down your pot for a pretty minute or two to get these seasonings cooked right through. And this looks so beautiful, all of that. So you could have a little red bell pepper if you don't want to use the tomatoes as I do, as opposed to the green, because we have green scallions already. So what you can do is just do what you want to do, family. Do your thing, okay? So I did cover my pot, fam, and as I told you I would have done. So I was like, I didn't want my seasonings to burn. So when you cover the pot, it builds up something like steam still on the eye right here, and you see your seasonings are cooking. You don't want them to burn. Another thing too that can give your ackee a slight different taste of a flavor, really nice. It's just let your scallions get a little bit charred, like, you know, yeah, gives it a, but not burn up, you know. So that is what we have. Our seasonings here really cooked and gelled in. Now it's time for ackee. Look at our ackee. This is how it looks. So I'm gonna just empty my ackee over in there. You see me not have no water drain. Okay. Now it's time to put some black pepper if you like. If you don't want to use none, just don't use any. With a reasonable amount of black pepper, this enhances this dish. Black pepper enhances ackee and saltfish, whether you believe it or whether you like it, yes or no. And you know, me, I'm ackee and saltfish every day. Well, I don't. So you can do that. So with that being said, you want to use a spoon, and you want to go from the bottom. Turn your flame down a bit here and over. Right over that, you on it. Yeah, just over, flip it a bit, flip it a bit. If you want to add a little more black pepper, you can. Now, you want to cook this, and you want to turn your flame down to the very lowest that you can find your flame down. And you're going to leave this for a pretty good 10 minutes. And I want you to listen to what I'm saying. This 10 minutes in there on the low, sometimes you get ackees, and I know a lot of people can attest to that. You get a can of ackee, you get a dozen or 2 dozen ackees. Your friend even get ackee from Jamaica, you go and look at me, it's mixed ackee. Some trees, every tree have different nature ackee. You find that when you cook your ackee and it's properly done, some of the ackee is harder than some I mean in some more chewy than some. Now with this method here, leaving it covered for another 10 to 15 minutes, that steam will go right through the ackee, and those that are not properly cooked, they will be cooked. A tip for you that I've never shared before. It is Jammas day number 11, and that's how we do it. We teach and we cook. Next clip. Now you see that steam coming out there. We're gonna turn our flame off.
And this is what your ackee looks like. Don't play around with it now. You don't have no reason to be troubling it until you're ready to start dishing. This is how you do your ackee and saltfish. So for the time and we added all those little ackee with those little extra trouble parts. Sometimes the ackee is like this, that one single peg, one part is chewy and the other is soft, especially when you put it to freeze. Okay, so in the next clip we'll have our breadfruit all peeled up. We won't show that. We have showed that in our roast breadfruit video, and we'll be plating some of this ackee and saltfish for you. I mean, no, I'm not gonna want to make that dish here for the holiday season. I'll catch you in the next clip. All plated up and ready. Roast breadfruit, ackee and saltfish, my way. From my kitchen to yours. From my Jamaican kitchen to your family table, to your palate, and most of all to your stomach. It is roasted breadfruit, ackee and saltfish done just for you in this holiday season. Make sure to remember to like my videos. Remember to turn on your post notifications. Remember to make sure that you're subscribed. Leave me a comment below in the description of this and all my other videos and lives. There will be the link to all that you want to get on to me for. Thanks for the love, thanks for the support and all of that. And Jammas day number 11.